Obliviate. A closer look at the Vesica Pisces. The Vesica Pisces is also known as the eye of the needle. And when the Vesica Pisces begins to birth within you, your spirit, this is known as the rebirth, and it is also the reunion of Adam and Eve within you, so that you go through the eye of the needle, the Vesica Pisces, to find heaven or eternal life. It is also known as being twice born. The Vesica Pisces forms a teardrop and a flame, the baptism of water and the baptism of fire within you. It is an awakening, and it will require you to leave the world of the material and the matrix behind, leaving the mind, the brain, the ego behind, and going with the heart. So someone contacted me about revisiting their looking glass reading. And as we can see here, there are two eyes. One eye is below with a teardrop, and the other eye is above. This means that this person is going through the process of being twice born or born again in higher places. The two eyes looks like a stadium. This also reflects that on the spirit world, you have died, but you don't remember it. There are many near-death experiences where people recall being in a stadium and being greeted to the afterlife. The train above reflects a dimension, going into higher dimensions, your heart and your mind being in higher dimensions, but for some reason your feet are still in a lower world, and this may be spirit telling you to watch your actions. Actions are a prayer, and your actions must go and align with your words and your intentions. The second piece, it says torn. This is twice born. The male and the female in your eyes being balanced, and the Vesica Pisces being asleep within you. And this is about balancing the male and female, the Adam and Eve within you, hearing the voice of spirit and obeying spirit, your higher self. Your higher self is greater than flesh and knows more than we do, and is a time traveler and is an oracle and has all the power. Our flesh is simply the vessel for spirit to work through, talk through. And so you are being asked to go through your Vesica Pisces, balanced male and female, and marry flesh with spirit and begin to obey spirit, the divine order of God, so that your path is a path that is on a divine pathway, not the pathway dominated by logic, ego, and a very limited understanding within the matrix. It is also connected to the Kundalini awakening, the snake, and going up the 33 vertebrae of the spine. Notice that the Vesica Pisces is pointed toward 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock, like on a clock. It is also a sacred geometrical shape that aligns with a spiritual growth within you. We begin as one, and the second step is we double ourselves like an embryo, and this creates the Vesica Pisces. From there, you go to the Trinity, and the Trinity is another spiritual growth. So when Jesus was 12 years old, he left the Bible to become powerful and didn't come back until he was 30, walking on water and raising the dead. Same with Harry Potter. He was 12 years old when he left the Muggles, and he met his Trinity. Hermione and Weasley and Harry Potter formed a Trinity. But in order to go through the Vesica Pisces, Harry Potter had to look in the mirror. And in the mirror, he saw his mother and his father. This means that he didn't see his Trinity or his higher self. He saw his pain. So you are being asked to heal the mother and the father, the Adam and the Eve within you, so that when you look in the mirror that looks like a Vesica Pisces, you see your higher self, not you. And this is also about your Taurus field. This is a Taurus field within your spiritual body that forms the Vesica Pisces in the center, and you become powerful, activated, obedient, wise. But it does require you to die. Die before you die. Die of your old world, die of your old self. Get into sacred geometry and how it reflects the shape of your soul and your spiritual growth. Notice how at each stage of our spiritual growth, the shape of our geometrical expansion shifts and changes. You can read, push pause and read all of these near-death experiences where people were in a stadium. So I believe that your higher self was letting you know that you're going through a death and rebirth, and you have rebirthed in higher places, but you are being asked to obey your higher self so that this rebirth can be fully manifested within your life, because your feet are still in the lower world of water. So you've gone through the baptism of water, you're going through the baptism of fire, and this is awakening to your astral travels and how we've died many times, but we rebirthed through our spiritual expansion and the raising of our frequency. I also encourage you to watch the Netflix program Witness of Another World. This movie reflects this man who, when he was a boy, went into an alien spaceship and saw a hologram of his higher self, and he died, but he didn't die. So he was taken into what looked like a stadium, but it was actually a spaceship, and he was put back into this matrix, and he realized that many of us die, but we don't die because we have been birthed in higher places. Our consciousness can now bounce to higher realities. Listen to this song that I wrote about the Vesica Pisces. At the end of the video will be a frequency that reflects the Vesica Pisces as well. The Vesica Pisces, the eye of the needle. A time of being alone, but of becoming ruthless, cutting old energies and relationships from our lives. Obliviate. From the foundations of all that I've known, all of the imaginations and beliefs I have grown, I remove myself from the matrix of strife, and I rebirth myself into a new life. No longer giving my energy to the world of the dead, rising up from this unhealthy bed. It is not a time of connection, it is time to be alone, separating ourselves from worlds we've always known. I will come back one day, balanced in mother and father. The baptism of fire, walking on water.